Yo, what's good guys, but I'm Fire here back from the video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another defense in Madden 22 that I like to run. This is going to be a good pass defense that I've actually been running for a couple of years now, and the play I'm talking about is going to be out of the actual nickel 3-3-5 normal formation. This is something I've been kind of labbing up lately, starting to run a little bit more. I actually like it a lot because it's off meta. Not too many people are running 3-3-5, even 3-3-5 wide now, but especially not this formation. So I'm going to bring you guys one of my favorite coverages out of it. It's just going to be out of the Tampa 2 play. So I'm actually going to, I'll move my face cam up a little bit just so you can see. But Tampa 2 normal play. Of course, what you can do in this formation is get some nice safeties at the linebacker position. So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do. Try and get some good safeties there. We'll put Adrian Phillips here. And, if you want to, you can also leave linebackers. So I'll just leave Bentley here. But yeah, you can leave auto flip on, which is something that I don't have on, but normally you could leave on. Again, there's no coach adjustments in this stupid practice mode, but we're just gonna go ahead, hop into the video, and we'll go through all of our adjustments when we do that. All right, so hopping into the actual setup, you see we got a simple cover 2 shell. You're gonna have 3 linebackers in yellow zones, then you have an extra slot corner off the edge. First thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually just base align. I usually will just baseline my defense every single time just to give him the same look. Because we're in bunch, these linebackers are going to be in their respective formations or the way that they should be, but if it were a spread out formation, linebackers would kind of be going all over the place. So generally it's better to just base align. Another thing that I like to go do is actually move Jonathan Jones here, kind of in to give him a blitzing look. So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do. Now, the first thing that I like to do is go with a bluff blitz on Jonathan Jones. And then the next thing you can do is go with 2 curl flats. So we're going to curl flat both these sides, and this is going to be your play art. Now, it looks kind of weird over here with Lawrence Guy. Jonathan Jones is the one on the 3-rec hook, so I'm not sure why the play art is glitched. It is this year for these bluff blitz zones, but Jonathan Jones is going to be playing a 3-receiver hook. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And yeah, man, this is pretty much going to be our coverage for our first setup. Now what you can go ahead and do with this setup is set your cloud flats to about 20 yards to 25 yards, and then you can go ahead and set your curl flats to about 5 yards. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, again, it's practice mode. We don't really have that option, so what I might do just to give them kind of the same look is just put these guys on hard flats, which is certainly an option. If you wanted to do this, you could put these guys at 5 yards, and then you can set these curl flats like 20 yards. I like it with the cloud flats at 20, the curl flats at 5, but we'll just hop into the play. It's like a little basic dagger play, but you see the coverage pretty good. And again, we can't set our zone drops in practice mode. I do apologize for that, but it's not my fault. It's EA's fault. But just hopping into the replay again, you can run it the 2 different ways with the flats at 5 or at 25 and the curl flats at 5 or 25. So in this case, you see it's a little dagger play. You have drags. You have a little crossing route. Again, you have a 20-yard flat zone. He's going to defend that with ease. This guy's going to take away the drag. Of course, you see the drag over here taken away by a hard flat. And then really your user in the middle of the field. But I also want to focus in on Jonathan Jones because you see he's in a blitzing formation on the right side. So how does he end up on the left? Well, let's take a look. He's going to first start out by taking away the early read of Quez Watkins on the crosser. Then what he does, he's going to take away Dallas Goedert for just a split second. If you're going through your reads and you're looking at the drag right about here in the middle of the field, which is where I would expect a lot of people to go through this progression, you're not going to be able to really throw that. And even if you throw it, your hard flat's coming up. Not a really good pass to throw. Then take a look at what he does with Miles Sanders. So he's going to actually run over and sit on this route. So he's going to sit on it. He's not going to, be in a position to make the tackle. He's going to be right on that. That's an intercepted pass. So it's the best zone in the game, in my opinion, especially for middle of the field. So you put him on the bluff blitz. Again, that's going to be the right stick to that right-hand side bluff blitz adjustment. And that is a key, big key to this defense. So this is going to be, again, double mabel. So, of course, when you're running this defense, where's the gap? The middle of the field deep. Something you got to watch out for. You should be able to recognize it relatively easily, relatively early, where that would be. So, again, for video's sake, I'll go with the hard flat adjustment. Normally, I'm going with the flats at 25 or 20, and I'm going with the curl flats at 5. So that's normally what I'm going at. You can also, once again, flip them with your flats at 5, your curl flats at 25. So Just trying to make that clear for you guys, because again, it is playing a little bit different in practice mode. But take a look at Jonathan Jones right there. He actually defends the crossing route to the middle of the field. I'll show the replay again. He defends the crossing route to the middle of the field, and then take a look at what happens when. Let's slow this up a bit, but we also have Bentley on this curl flat doing a good job of bumping that, but he's kind of following him. You can see how if there isn't an in route, Jonathan Jones is actually going to run with that and follow that route. But then he recognizes that, and you see how fast he's able to switch. And this is what I always say about the 3 receiver hook zones. It's basically like you have another user on the field, and that's how good it is. Definitely not used enough, in my opinion, because it really is helpful, especially in this game where you almost need another user because of how slow it is. It can certainly be helpful. So we'll show this one more time, then we'll hop into some other options for you boys. So here is it one more time. Snap the ball. This is out of that dagger play again. You see everything defended pretty well. Again, you got to watch the middle of the field deep with your user if you're going with this setup. But if you're going with this setup anyway, you shouldn't really expect your opponent to be throwing that ball super deep. In my opinion, that's just what I would guess. Now, what else can you do? Now, we're going to keep one thing same on both these plays, and that's going to be the 3 receiver hook. That's the adjustment we're going to keep on every single setup out of this play. The first thing you can do is we can play it safe. So let's go get a middle third in here. Let's not give up the big play. Now you have 2 other guys. What you can actually do with these, of course, you're going to need your user somewhere. So what we can do is either user one of these guys. I can use Duggar or I can use Bentley, and we can just run their coverage basically like this. I would run my cloud flats either at default or somewhere like a 10-yard mark, just a decent range. Now you will be willing to give up the short ball if you're playing this style of defense. You're going to be willing to give up out routes, drag routes, things like that. But you're not giving up a big play, and that's, I think, what this does a decent job at. So you're going to have a vert hook, you're going to have a 3 receiver hook. Middle of the field should be on lockdown, so that's when you can kind of work over in here. I would have expected Jonathan Jones to follow that. I'm not exactly sure where he went on that play. I'll have to take a look. Maybe he followed the drag. What did you? Yeah, he actually followed the drag all the way across the field. So you see how our cloud flat's playing super deep at default. This guy literally covers the drag for us, so that's really helpful. But yeah, you have your vert hook on the wrong side. This guy, he's a vert hook, so he's going to follow the streak as you would want him to. If you don't like the vert hook, what you can do is pretty easily just put him in a hook curl zone. So you can hook curl him, and this might be a little bit better depending on what you like. So now hook curl, if we run that same exact play, now we should have pretty much everything defended a lot better. You see the hook curl, he's not going to follow the streak. He's going to sit in there, defend the in route, and you see everything else is defended pretty well. Now, some other things you can do. One thing that I like to do maybe is, let's say I want to man up somebody. So usually in offenses, you're going to man up one of 2 different people. It's either going to be usually the tight end, which I would say is the tight end in this case, or it's going to be the running back. I like to man up the tight end. So we're going to man up the tight end, keep him in the same spot, but just kind of take away the tight end. So now the tight end's hopefully taken away. And what you can go ahead and do is now we're going to use our Bentley over here. But yeah, you can just really give him the same look and just flip a couple of things every single time. So now we have bluff blitz is going to follow. We would be able to lurk out on B, but you see B and Y. It's just depending on the play. And this is a pretty good play, but yeah, you just play to your strengths. As far as let's actually audible formations. Now let's say we're in bunch. Again, we like this bluff blitz adjustment. It's going to be good to take away crossers, things like that. But in this situation, if I really wanted to, I can take away the 2 best players of the offense, the tight end and the running back, leave the middle of the field open, and then we're just going to have our user in our bluff blitz. So we'll show this adjustment, what this player would look like. Bluff blitz actually follows with the running back and then almost runs all the way back with B, which you see B was slightly open there against the cover 2, which you would kind of expect again. Another adjustment you can do out of this is we can double mabel one side. So we're going to take away the bluff blitz now because certain situations, let's say it's not doing anything for you like it did on that play, maybe you just don't want it on the field. So maybe we double mabel on the bunch side, take away things like verticals, and then we could just play a basic simple defense where we put a middle third out, we have an extra vert hook over here. With this vert hook, we could put him in a hook curl if we want, we could man him up on the tight end, we can do a couple of different things. And then we'll just use her over here. So this is a safe defense, double mabel on one side, kind of take away the short ball, and then you run over here deep with your user. So again, this is a style of defense where you're not going with complete double mabel. And again, with this double mabel, your cloud flat's going to run deep. It's going to take away the vertical route, and your curl flat would be able to take away Miles Sanders on that running back route. So again, this isn't the accurate representation of what it should look on your field. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, man, overall, you can see how you can really just adjust quickly. If you wanted to go, maybe you can just go with a combination of a double mabel. You leave the inside third, and then you have your users. So now we have double mabel on both sides. We don't have our bluff blitz, but we do have some extra help in the middle of the field. So it just depends on what he's doing. If he's a heavy bunch trail player, he's throwing a deep post on the field every single play. This is probably your best defense rather than forcing your user to do that and then having the bluff blitz defend the middle of the field. So we've seen that the bluff blitz is very good, but it also can be inconsistent from that standpoint. So good job at using pretty much everything there. Madden 22, we're going to drop that interception, but you can just see the variety of coverages that you can kind of mix between, and everything is going to be the exact same look. Realistically, the last thing I'm going to show you is if you wanted to, you could also even create a cover 3 cloud look, but I'll show you how to do it. Normally, if you're running cover 3 cloud, you might as well just come out and cover 3 cloud, because there is a cover 3 cloud in this defensive playbook. So we can actually run a double mabeled cover 3 on the right side, and then we can actually run a complete double mabel with cover 3 if we wanted. So we could cover 3, or I don't know what you would call it, but it's double mabeled cover 2 on the left, double mabeled cover 3 on the right, and then you have your user over here. Or let's say we just want the normal cover 2 with the double mabeled cover 3 on the right. Then we can go ahead, hook curl, or man him up on the tight end, whatever you want to do, man him up on the running back. But this could definitely be a good strategy, and again, if I were running this, I'm probably just going to run the defense out of cover 3 cloud, because there is a cover 3 cloud play in this. But yeah, man, we're going to lurk over, go defend A, go defend B with the user, right there. The user's not fast enough, but in Ultimate Team, you're going to have better safety there anyway. Or whatever mode you want your user. You should probably have faster safeties than this guy, but we'll show that defense one more time. And just basically looks like this. So again, it's easier to run out of cover 3 cloud, but if you really want to get adjusty, could be a good thing to do from the standpoint that he goes to, if you're playing a mode where previous play is on, it's no sheds. If you're playing a mode where previous play is on, he's gonna snap the ball, he's gonna be like, oh, this doesn't look like cover 2. Go back to his huddle, look at his previous play, and he's gonna see cover 2. He's gonna be a little bit confused, as I'm sure most of you would if you saw cover 2. Some players would be able to easily recognize it. Just because the player with cover 2 doesn't mean it's not, but I can actually confuse some players that don't really know what they're looking at. They're just looking for open receivers. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do with the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.